In this video, I will share with you 2 high win rate strategies with a super effective TradingView tool called the Faith Indicator. I mentioned this indicator in my previous video, and today I will build and backtest 2 strategies with it that you can follow right away and make good and consistent profits. I will also backtest them 100 times with an initial account size set at $100 and 1 to 1.5 risk reward ratio. Okay, for our first strategy, we're going to be using the chart of GBP JPY on a 5-minute time frame. And now let's go ahead and add the first indicator the strategy is going to be based on. So let's type in Faith Indicator. This one by EYK Punter. And now let me briefly explain how we're going to be using this indicator for long and short entries. Okay, so a long signal or a signal to buy is valid only when we have a new blue bar appeared on a blue background. If the bar appears on red, green or any other background, the signal is not valid. Here's another valid long signal. A short signal or a signal to sell is valid only when we have a new red bar appeared on a red background. By the way, if the signal was issued but the background did not confirm it, you cannot wait for the red background to catch up. You're simply waiting for a better opportunity. So as we can see, this indicator is really simple to use and it issues pretty accurate signals. So we're going to be using this tool as a first confirmation indicator. Okay, now let's go ahead and add 2 more indicators to the chart in order to complete the strategy. So the first indicator we're going to be adding is called Historical Volatility Estimators by Bally Poor. And the second indicator we need to add is called Trend Buy and Sell. Now we're going to need to access the settings on this Trend Buy and Sell indicator. And in the start section, let's remove the buy and sell labels. Okay, the strategy is ready. Now let's understand the trading rules. So here are the rules for entering a long trade. First, the bar color must be green. This is an ultimate confirmation that we are in an uptrend. Second, the Faith indicator needs to print a new blue bar on a blue background. Third, the volatility estimator bar needs to break above this moving average, and the bar must be colored in orange. This indicates a high level of volatility in the market. We're going to place a buy order at the close of our trigger candlestick. Our stop loss can be set either at the swing low or at the low of the previous candlestick if the swing low is too far away from the entry price. And for this strategy, we're going to be targeting 1.5 times the risk. Okay, let me give you one more example. So here we see the Faith indicator printed a new blue bar on a blue background. The trigger candlestick is green color, and the volatility in the market is pretty high. We see that with this trend buy and sell indicator that colors the bars, we're not taking low quality trades. Notice how well this indicator eliminated these losing short trades issued by the Faith indicator. The volatility estimator also plays a huge role in eliminating losses because it literally identifies the times when the market is not trending. Notice when the price action starts moving sideways, the bars are usually below the moving average and they're colored in blue. Okay, now let's understand the short positions. First, the Faith indicator must print a new red bar on a red background. Second, the trigger candlestick must be red color. Third, the volatility bar must break above the moving average and it needs to be colored in orange. Our stop loss can be set at the recent swing high or at the high of the previous candlestick if the distance between their entry price and the recent swing high is too great. In this case, we're going to place it at the recent swing high. And we're going to be targeting 1.5 times the risk. Here's another good example for a short entry. So in this example, we see that our first confirmation indicator issued a sell signal, the trend bars became red, and the volatility in the market is increasing. Okay traders, I hope you have understood the rules for this strategy. Now let's do the backtesting to find out its true win rate. Okay, the backtesting is finished and here are the results. So the win rate for this strategy is 68%, which is pretty good, and we gained over 290% of profit on our account. The profit factor is 3.19 and we had 6 consecutive wins against 2 consecutive losses. And the maximum drawdown for this strategy is 3.96%. So yeah, quite impressive results, not gonna lie. So I would definitely suggest you to go ahead and backtest this strategy on different Forex pairs to see how it performs there. Okay, now let's move on to the second strategy. For this strategy, we're going to be using the price of BTC USD on a 5-minute time frame. This setup also consists of 3 indicators. So first we have the faith indicator. By the way, I changed the period from 10 to 15. For the second indicator, we're going to be using the pivot point super trend. Here are the settings. And lastly, we have the ADX with DI. In the star section, I made the lines a bit more visible. By the way, for this strategy, we're going to be using the faith indicator as our secondary confirmation indicator. For the C1, we're going to be using the super trend. Alright, now let's jump into the trading rules. So these are the conditions for entering a long trade. First, the super trend needs to issue a new buy signal. Second, a blue bar on a faith indicator must appear on a blue background. Third, the ADX indicator must be bullish. This means that the green line is above the red line. And finally, the ADX blue line has to be positioned above the 20 level and it needs to be pointing upwards. If the line hasn't caught up by the time the super trend issued a buy signal, we can still wait for it to catch up with the condition that we're not entering a trade at the worst price. This basically means that by the time the line catches up, the price must not be higher than our initial entry price. In this example, we see that all the indicators lined up properly. So we will place a buy order at the close of our trigger candlestick. Our stop loss will be set at the recent lowest price. And we're going to be targeting 1.5 times the risk. Here's another example. We see the super trend issued a new buy signal. The faith indicator confirms it. The ADX is also bullish, but the blue line is still being below the 20 level. In this case, just like I said, we're going to be waiting for it to catch up. So we see the line just crossed the 0 level and it's pointing upwards. And the current price is actually better than our initial entry price. Here's an example where it's not recommended to take the trade. So we see the super trend issued a buy signal, the faith indicator is blue, the ADX green line is above the red line, but the blue line hasn't caught up yet. So we waited a few candlesticks for it to catch up, but if we take a look at the current price, we see that it's actually worse than the initial entry price. So in this case, we would skip the trade. Now let's understand the sell positions. So first we need to have a new sell signal issued by the super trend. The bar and a background on a faith indicator must be red. The ADX red line has to be above the green line. The blue line must be above the 20 level and it has to be pointing upwards. In this case, we see that the line hasn't caught up yet. A few candlesticks later, we see that the line finally meets our requirements and the current price is actually better than our initial entry price. Our stop loss will be set at the recent swing high, and we're going to be targeting 1.5 times the risk. Alright, let's take a look at one more example. Here we see the super trend issued a new sell signal and all the indicators are lined up properly. We see it took quite a while for the price action to hit our take profit target. That's why we always need to stay patient and never close the trade too early. Okay, I hope the rules are clear. Now let's find out the win rate for this strategy. Alright, so after 100 trades, the results for this strategy are really impressive. The win rate is 71% and we increased our account size by 353.94%. The profit factor is 3.67 and we had 12 consecutive wins against 2 consecutive losses. So by looking at these numbers, we can tell that this strategy is much better than the previous one, and I would definitely recommend it for trading crypto. Okay traders, I think that's going to be it for this video. Make sure you click the like button if you found it useful. By the way, if you want to see one of my best strategies on the channel, check out this video right here.